Okay, I am excited about tonight. Our guest speaker, I was trying to think, I got to know her a couple years ago. We were on a panel together at one of the events, and it was so fun just getting to know her. And her sweet husband and family. And it's been a while. It's been well over a year since she's been on one of our Zooms. So I'm super excited to get to have her on. She's just an incredible worker. Man, always a top income earner, always leading from the front. So I'm so excited, Rachel, to have you on tonight, sister. Oh, let me see. I made you co-host.
Oh yeah, I can mute myself. Sorry. Hi. Okay, you guys gotta bear with me tonight because I'm actually finally getting my voice back. Like I've been whispering like these past 2 days. So bear with me. If you can't understand me, just say it again. I don't mind.
Oh, well, thank you, girl, for taking the time to come hop on with us.
Of course. It's my pleasure.
Well, will you start off and just kind of share, because we have a lot of new people, just a little bit maybe about your story, how you found it works, maybe what you started to do just to go at the beginning to hit diamond, then we'll just ask you some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually share my story different now. It's crazy. I think, with time, things just get better. So my journey it's just gotten easier to share about how this business has changed my life. So I started this business back in 2013. I was a single mom who was robbing yes, like 3 pieces of ice in his mouth. I was a single mom who was robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like I had just graduated with my master's. I had a master's level position and I was still broke and I just didn't understand why, because I was doing everything in my power to not be broke anymore. And here I am still broke and I did everything right, supposedly. So I was invited to a rap party and back then it wasn't all over Facebook. No idea what in the world it even was. I was just going to support my friend. And she had a lady at the party who said she made $15,000 a month. And I was like, okay, if you can make $15,000, I can make 500. It's really all I cared about was just the extra $500 a month, because I was actually back in grad school for a master's I did not want in order to pay for my older son who's not feeling well, but in order to pay for his private school. So I was back in grad school getting another master's so that I could keep him in private school. I was doing hair on the side, just as a side hustle to make some money. It was a rat hole. So I was like, okay, if I can make extra $500 from this business, then it would be worthwhile. And so I jumped in. In my first 2 weeks, I made $400 in rap cash. That was a big deal for me because I was never in a position to where I could make money that quickly. Just going into a party and then walking out an hour later, like it would take me 8 hours to make $200. So it was not, that like blew my mind. What happened was I had a friend whose son was autistic, and she was one of my first distributors. And what's crazy is she's not with me anymore, even though we're still friends. But she needed to make extra money in order to pay for behavior therapy for her son because he was displaying more things, and so he needed more therapy. Unfortunately, she couldn't cut her hours back because if she did, she wouldn't be able to pay her bills, and she was a single mom at the time as well. So I was like, oh my gosh, like my master's was in professional counseling. My bachelor's was in psychology. So I love to help people. So it was like, okay, if I help my friend make money, not only is it going to help her, it's going to help me. Like that blew my mind. I just couldn't even believe it because I'd never been in a position where I could help other people and be helped. I would save people from being homeless, like my kids, and I loved it. But at the end of the day, I would never go back to work the next day and they would be like, oh my God, Rachel, like, here's a $1,000 bonus. Like, yeah, right. I barely got to thank you. So that blew my mind. So after that, I was like all in. I was like, okay, listen, I'm just going to help everybody change their life because this is what I love to do. And so I went on a run and I went diamond. Oh, my upline quit. So let me just throw that in here since this is like a training. Oh goodness, ice. So this is a distributor training. My upline quit my second month into the business. My second month into the business, I went Ruby. She went Ruby as well. The next month, she kind of just dropped it off. And it's somebody we still know in our life today. Like, I'm sure she still runs the auto ship. It's so funny. So I decided that I didn't join this business for her. It's not why I joined. So I was going to keep going. I was going to figure it out. And so we figured it out. I just rallied my team and I was like, we're going to do this. Like, we're going to figure it out. It doesn't matter. If any other people can do it, so can we. So we kind of just went for it. Sorry, we're having the fun with ice over here. So we kind of just went for it. And I went, after 8 months after I went Ruby and she quit. So 7 months after she quit, I went Diamond. And what's crazy, and I got a $10,000 bonus. Now, I will say this. I went to conference, and my first conference was in 2014. It was Freedom Conference. It was crazy, guys. I was super broke, like super broke. I had to ask my grandma to buy my plane ticket. I paid, back then we could make 3 payments on our ticket, our conference tickets. So I made the 3 payments on there, and the last one declined, and it was only $60, and I just went and paid it. And then when I got there, I didn't have any money for anything. My husband was my boyfriend. He paid for our hotel room. He even bought me some clothes because I didn't have any money. But I didn't care. I had heard that you had to be there. And so I felt like I had to be there. And so I, by any means necessary. And I came back from that conference. 3 months later, I was paid as a distributor at that conference, even though I was a Ruby. And 3 months later, I was Diamond. So when I tell you, like, conference really does change everything, it really does. And the electrifying energy that you get in that building cannot be made up. Like, you can't make it up. So that was crazy. But anyway, so I came back. And what's crazy from there is my complete chart just completely fell apart. I lost rank, and I got married in September of 2014. I went Diamond in April of 2014. And guys, yeah, I lost rank the month I got married. Isn't it crazy? Like, the month I got married, I lost rank. And I'm sitting here, and I'm looking at my team like, okay, guys, are we going to retain? Like, what's going on? And everybody was like asleep. Like, it was just cricket. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. Hey. Do you want to say hi? Girl, watching you. All right, sorry about that. So I lost rank, and so it just so happened. Are you okay? Okay, sorry. So it just so happened. It just so happened that Mark, because he's gonna try to steal the show. This is what he loves to do. But it just so happened that Mark ended up bringing back. Yeah. Sorry. Mark ended up bringing back the good, so I was able to get my good bonus back, and that was just crazy. Now, let me tell you guys, when he brought back the good, I decided I was getting it back. Like, I realized in that moment, it was not about what my team did, but it was about what I did. And so I decided my fate was never going to be in my team's hands. And to this day, the reason why I'm a top earner is because I decided that my fate was no longer in my team's hands. Now, could my team help me? Absolutely. Could we work together? Absolutely. Could we partner? Could we make magic together? Absolutely. But they were never going to be in control of whether I got paid or not. And so that's when I just decided I was going to step it up. I went double Diamond a few months later. I went to conference. He doubled the bonuses. You don't know what in the world he's going to do at conference. Like, let me tell you guys, in 2015, I went to conference and he doubled those bonuses, and I almost boo-booed in my pants. I ran up and down the chairs. Like, I'm not lying to you guys. Like, I ran up and down those chairs and lost my stuff. I was a Diamond, and I needed like 6 or 7 people and like 10,000 in volume, and I came home in 2 weeks, and I went double Diamond and got that $30,000 bonus. So the bonuses were good until March, and I was like, listen, I'm going for everything God intended for me to get. So February, my husband went Diamond, got a $20,000 bonus. March, I went triple Diamond. I got a $50,000 bonus. My husband went double Diamond. He got a $30,000 bonus. In that month, in March, I had 3 personally enrolled people promote to double Diamond, which got me, and actually, in part of those double Diamonds, the Diamonds were personally enrolled to me too. So my whole life, guys, in 3 months after leaving that second conference, everything in my life changed. Like, every aspect I knew. I was home full time because I got fired. I did. I wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur so bad that I got fired. Oh, really? I really did. But I was home full time. My husband was still working. So before conference, we were bringing in maybe about $5,000-$6,000 a month. After conference, like we were making like $20,000 a month easily. It was crazy in just 3 months. Like everything I knew about life was just different. So it was crazy. So from there, that my why then was just like getting everything that God intended. But then after that, guys, like you gotta think, I'm a person that doesn't come from a household where people make that kind of money. I don't know nobody who makes that kind of money. So it was like, okay, well, what next? Like what can I push for next? And I always tell my team, and then what? Like if you don't have it, and then what? You will fall off the face of the earth. I'm not lying. You're gonna go, Ruby, and then because you don't have it, then what? You're gonna stall. And that stalling is gonna make you go backwards. So you always have to know what's coming next. And my and then what was my husband coming home full time. And I wanted him home. Like that was my best friend. I wanted more freedom. I can't necessarily say I want him home because he's a full-time basketball coach now. That's why he's not home. But I wanted him to have freedom, and I didn't want the job to be taking hold of his life where I never saw him. And so he said, you go presidential diamond, I'll come home full time. Like I'll put in my letter of resignation. And so I was like, all right, cool. So guys, October of 2015, I went presidential diamond. And I got a $50,000 bonus because you just never know. Marky's just crazy, and he's always just setting us up for some awesome goodies. And he handed in his letter of resignation on November 1st. December 1st of 2015, my husband came home, and he's been home full time, having his own time since for 3 years now, which is insane to me. Just a few highlights, and then I'll just give it over for whatever questions you guys have. I've been a top income earner for 5 years now. Like, it's crazy. I've been in the top 150 for 5 years, top 100 for 4. And I've done this without having anybody in the top with me, which I want to change, but it is possible. Like, it is so possible to help people, and regardless of who's coming with you, you can still be at the top. Like, you can still be at the top. We've built a house. We have a $500,000 house that we were able to build from the ground up. We've had the cars. We've been able to experience life. We've done the trips. But the icing on the cake for me is this little kid who is so bossy here in my arms. We were able to fish out $17,000 in cash to not only get him here, keep him in my stomach, but to get him here. So God did it. He did. We were right in the process of having to go through IVF, IUI. I got pregnant, but I needed help staying pregnant. And I was able to fish out the cash because insurance would not cover it in order to keep him in my womb. So, and he actually was born in my car here at the house that Raps built. It's crazy. My life is insane. But I can go on and on about everything that this business has done for me. But after him, like, my relationship with Christ, like, I got to know Jesus for real. Like, if it was not for this business, I cannot tell you that I would have got to know Jesus for real. So I'll leave it there.
Well, I have chills over here, and you have me cracking up. I have mine on mute because my poor mom's watching JJ, who's like, I'm like, hopefully no one can hear the screaming baby because John went to the basketball game tonight. And so, but anyways, so good, Rachel. Oh my goodness. I wrote down so many things that I want to ask you, but I love that you pointed out, at the beginning, it's like you joined, you were busy. You were working, going to school, doing side hustle. Like, if there was anybody that could say they're busy, it's a single mom, working, grad school, doing hair on the side. You had every excuse that you had. Every excuse, but you didn't let that be an excuse. Instead, those really kind of became your whys of why you were doing it. Keeping your son in private school, doing that. Talk about a total boss babe. That right there is that. And so I love that you said you joined, you had an upline that probably didn't know a whole ton because you were both with Ruby at the same time. She quit. You could have quit. You didn't have that support, but you're like, no, I'm not doing this for my upline. I'm doing this for me. Yeah. So I don't care who you signed up with, if they quit or someone signed up with you, you're super sad, your rock star under you that you're going to do it with quit. Do it for you. Find your why, So I love that, Rachel. But tell me this. So when you got started, how did you start growing? Because you can't go diamond, so after conference, you got that fire lit, love that. You can't go diamond without people. So who were these people you were signing?
So what's crazy is I've done a lot of analyzing over these years because it's been so many years. And what was crazy is when if I look at my enrollments my first year, and then I look at my enrollments the next year when I went diamond and beyond, I started talking to everybody, guys. Like I would sign any and everybody. And then of course, people who know me, like blitzing is my thing because that was my way of building my network. When you come from a network of people who kind of just like, I don't want to say suck because that's not nice. But people who are not open-minded to new things, you can tell them all day, but at the end of the day, they become that whole prove them wrong that Mark talks about all the time. So not in a way where like it's ill intent in your heart, but it's more so like I have to show you what is possible, right? So I would talk to everybody, and if you said yes, then come on. And if you said no, then eventually you would say yes, or you want to be a customer right now, or you're gonna have me a party, or you're gonna get off of my Facebook friends because we're not friends in real life. Like you gotta go because I need room to be able to build. But then I started to blitz. Like I would blitz everywhere that I went. And a lot of the people who are on my team now are because I blitzed and because I added to my network. And that is how I was able to build my team. And then posting on social media. They're one of my triple diamonds right now. The reason why she's on my team is because she saw my post. One of my loyal customers, she posted about a product. And then she came to my page and saw and said I was going for a $10,000 bonus. And she was like, and then she kept watching, saw me get the $10,000 bonus and was like, all right, cool, let me sign up.
I love that. I love that. And for those of you, if you're new and you're like, what's blitzing? Blitzing is sharing the business with people, and there's so many ways to blitz. One of my favorite things, no matter where I am, if I'm talking to someone, I figure out how to add them on Facebook. Like, right. Hey, you on Facebook? Let me add you. Because I know I can get her on Facebook. She can see all my stuff. And I'm like, I can get her if I can get her on Facebook, right? So I love that you're blitzing and you're sharing. And then, okay, so tell us this now. What are some of the things, like you're like 5 years in, that you do to grow your business daily? So it's like, obviously every day is different, but like, what are your non-negotiables? What is like, this is how I keep going to the top and staying in the top?
Yeah, so it's crazy. I have a formula now. Kind of stole it from Jade a little bit and just put my twist on it. So I call it PMF-SDPD. So that's how I teach it. So it's spiritual development. And I teach my team to come to the table every single morning. And I'm going to push it. Like I'm a Jesus pusher. It is what it is. And I'm gonna encourage you to get up 30 minutes to an hour before your house, because if you don't, your day is, I don't know what I'm getting when I'm talking to you. Let's just be real, because you did not fill your cup before you touched your phone. So there's no telling what I'm gonna get. So PD is personal development, and most of them do their spiritual development and then their personal development, and they're not the same thing. They're not. You can read a devotional, but reading a devotional and reading a personal development, yes, you can learn a lot from Jesus. I'm not saying that, but they're two different things. They make your mind tick a little different. So spiritual development, personal development, post, message, follow up. And of course, you're going to do the ends in between, right? But those are my non-negotiables every single day. Now, I always tell my team this, like you got to show yourself grace. But even when you're showing yourself grace, it's almost like this. So you know how you go to a workout class and you're dying, like you just get me out of here, like I just don't even know what I signed up for. But the instructor's like, just keep moving. Like that's what I think of. Like you have to just keep moving. So even if you don't post 10 times in your stories or whatever, like post twice. Like don't stand still. If you message, so messages are new people, and I always encourage them to message at least 25 new people a day. And okay, you didn't message 25, but did you message 5? Like just message at least somebody. And then follow-ups. My follow-ups is at least 50 a day. I try to push for 100. But of course, I show myself grace. Like if I send 150 on Monday, like Tuesday, I may send 50, But that is the formula that I go through every single day. Like it's a non-negotiable. It's my thing.
I love that. And so I love that you said, because I like hearing other people's numbers. And I know like everybody's different, you know what I mean? So you find what works for you. But I love, this is someone that has stayed in the top, like top income earner for 5 years. She says she is messaging 25 new people a day. Like, I love that. But then following up with 50 to 100 people a day. So she's keeping track of people she talks to, whether they're saying maybe not now, this different date. And then she's following up, because so many times fortune's in the follow-up, just because you talk once, You
Yeah,
talked
and I do. I left my calendar upstairs, but I could show you guys. I have an hourly calendar, and I always suggest that everybody on my team gets one because I always tell them you don't tell your time where to go, it will run you. It will literally run you. And I have them write down everything, like from the time you're waking up to are you going to take an hour off when your kids get home and like block off time? Because the biggest thing that we're working on is boundaries. And if you don't have boundaries, I'm telling you, you will lose your mind because I've been there, done that. I've worked this business 24 hours a day. Like you will lose it. You will burn out. You have to have some type of boundaries. And honestly, when you set boundaries, you're more efficient. You work better because you have set time that you're working on different stuff. So the boundaries is really important. But in my calendar, there's a notes part every single day, and I put PDTs and PLCs, and everybody I talk to or I engage with or comments on my posts, their names go there. And then throughout the week, I'm following up with them, and I follow up every day. So unless you've given me a day, like let's just say we talk today, tomorrow I'm following up with you. Like I need to stay fresh in your brain. Now that doesn't mean I'm perfect, let me tell you. So his grace is sufficient. But that's my goal. My goal is to stay in their face until I get a date and time that they're going to sign up or they're going to do something.
I love that. Give us a sample, because I actually had someone ask me today, hey, what's a good follow-up? And so I sent them something, but what's like what's something you would say to follow up with someone?
So I have a few of them. Actually, listen, I love text replacement. Like, it's just my best friend. And I think it'll actually pop up on here, so I can put it in here. So like I have follow-up Friday. This is so those are my Friday ones. So those are the ones that I just sent last Friday. Okay, I'm gonna get you another side. So that is just one. And for me, the model spot works for me. And so, okay, here's the thing. And I wish somebody would have told me this when I signed up. The model spot doesn't work if you're not asking for models. So you have to be asking for models. But 9 times out of 10, like especially with host to post now, you said I need 5 models. So now you can say, hey, I have 1 model spot. Did you want it? Like, I know you were interested, so I want to offer it to you first. And it's really simple. And they'll say, hey, I don't have any money. It's just like, hey, that's fine. We can set a time that works better for you. But in the meantime, like, how would you feel about throwing a post up on your wall and you can get some free product? So just, it's a cycle, but you have to ask. Like, you have to ask.
I love that. So when it comes to, so you're also host to posting, do you have a number of like, okay, I want to ask this many people to host a post, or how?
Yes. Like the other day, I sent out 100 host to posts. So funny because I sent out 20, which is dangerous. I don't suggest it. That's dangerous because if 100 people say yes, you will probably throw your phone in the trash. So don't do that. I was just having a moment. But it's crazy. I got it from D. Brooks. And it's so funny. She sent it to me, and I didn't change my name. So Presidential Diamonds do that too. And somebody put it up, and it said D, my friend D. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. I can be
D. I love that. And so was it one that worked good for you? What product was it, Rachel?
X right now. The X is cracking. But I love the cleanse. So if I'm not doing the X, but I'll move around. Coffee is a good one for me. Cleanse is a good one for me. And then I have a personal weight loss one for the Fit 30. I like it because it's my personal results. But those are the 3: X, coffee, and cleanse are my big 3.
Okay. And so then when you're doing a host to post, so you ask people that, to post for you and stuff. So some people are like, well, I've asked everybody. I already went through my list. I went through my friends list. What's your reply to something like that?
You need new friends. Like my thing is, so even for me over these years, like you have to add to your network every single day. And you have to remove from your network every single day. So every day I am deleting, I am unfollowing, I may be snoozing for 30 days, and I'm adding. I have to, because what I'm doing is not efficient if I'm not talking to new people. Like you can't keep asking the same person every day and think that their answer is going to be different. I mean, it might. Don't not ask, but you're making your odds bigger if you create a bigger crowd. So I'm always trying. I'm not trying. I literally deleted 1,000 people last month and now I'm filling it back up. And Host the Post makes it easy. And I don't always add everybody from a Host the Post. If I look at their page and not feeling it, I'm just gonna message them and just, say, hey, check your inbox. I don't add everybody from Host the Post because I don't necessarily want to be friends with everybody.
I love that. So then when someone's saying, okay, where do you find people to add? So if you're adding on Facebook, what's like a tip for someone saying, okay, I need to expand my network. Who do I add? Where do I find people, where it's some good quality people?
So Host the Post is a good start. So if you have somebody, so when I first started Host the Post, the ones that really, really like took off were business mindseted people. So I asked my husband's barber to do me one, and I've actually asked him to do me one more than once. Because we're friends in real life. So I asked him to do one. I asked people who I know have established businesses and would support me, because some people will say, well, no, I don't do that on my wall, and whatever, that's fine. Which, we're not going to talk about that. But I'm going to ask people who are established in life, who has a lot of friends, who is really on social media a lot and like puts up a selfie and gets 150 likes. Like, that's who I'm asking to do a Host the Post for me, and that I'm going to add their network. Now, on the other side, I used to do a lot of honorary stuff, but thank God for deliverance. I used to go, if you told me no and I thought you would be bomb, I'm going to go add your friends, because your friends list is not hidden. It's not. So I'm going to go and I'm going to sneak in one by one and just, I'm not going to be super aggressive, because you're going to have people reaching out like, some girl. Like, no, I'm not. But I'm going to like trip it. So I'm going to like maybe add 5 friends, and then I'll come back to your friends list in a week, So those are the type of things that I do. Every once in a while I add from groups, but I'm still, they are the cops. So, I'm real leery about, if I do add somebody from a group, I'm going to inbox them and ask them about something they posted or commented on in the group before I say anything like about any of that.
I'm with you. That's I kind of like with groups, if someone comments on something I post in a group or
yes,
blah, 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 I add, but if you just start adding in groups, they can be cray about that. But I'm with you. If there's someone I think would be great and I've reached out and they're not doing the business, I'll go to their friends list and click suggested friends and add some in there where we've got some mutual friends or something, And then if that person ever becomes a DT, it's like, whoops, I got some of your friends on my
Right.
This is people that have told me no.
You took too long.
You took too long. Sorry, I had too many people. But no, I love that. Okay, so tell me this. What's a tip you would give to somebody we still have a good week left this month, right? I'm going to look now.
We
got more than a week. Yeah, we got like 10 days left. So if there's someone in here and they're like, I'm going for a promotion, like I want to promote, what tip would you give? And maybe they're really far or they're close, but they're like, I want to promote this month. Like I want to reach this goal.
So I think what it all boils down to is making up your mind. That honestly, if you make up your mind, you know how they say when a woman's fed up, like there's nothing you can do about it. Have you ever been in a relationship where it's like, man, I'm done with you. Like you are trash. And it's that one time where they trash, but you want the trash. And so you be like, I'm coming back to my trash. But then on the other side, it'd be like, listen, you make me sick. Like you make my skin crawl, right? So there's those two different things. You have to be at the you make my skin crawl when it comes to your promotion. There can't be a maybe I'm promoting, or if it happens, this is great. You have to decide that no matter what, you're going to promote. Like and you also have to speak some things. We know that life and death is in the power of your tongue. So speak it. And when you speak it, you have to believe what you're speaking. So when I say Mark posted the contest about being backstage. Now, maybe I'm going to be backstage already, but it doesn't matter. I wanted to win this contest. Like, I'm just competitive. And so I said, I'm signing of course I said it on the post, but I said it to myself. I'm signing a loyal customer yesterday, and I'm signing a loyal customer today, and I'm going to win this contest. And you can't tell me I'm not going to win the contest. Like, Mark's going to call my name. Like, what are you talking about? Even if I don't go backstage, I don't care. I just want to win. He can give it to somebody else. So you have to start speaking things, and then you have to put yourself in a bubble. And I learned this from Hypno Babies, guys, which is, you can just research. But I learned this from Hypno Babies. It's my bubble of peace. And you have to put yourself in a bubble to where nothing can take your mind off of what you said you're going to do. And it's a real thing. The reason why I was able to have a painless birth with no medication, and I was in hypnosis, is because I told myself I would, and I put myself in this place of peace to where my body was able to do what it was supposed to do. So you have to put yourself right now. You can't listen. Everybody who you know says anything negative. Even I don't care if they're on your team. I don't care if they're your upline. They gotta go. Because you have to decide that this is what you're going to do, and then you just go for it. But if you have any inkling of doubt in your heart, just know that if it doesn't happen, it's your fault. You have to cling to the people who, it's crazy. Like, yeah, I don't know, I was in my workout class today, and I was just paying attention because I like to pay attention to so much. I have this sober mind lately. Like, my mind is just always paying attention to so much stuff. And I was paying attention, and I was like, man, if I was discouraged right now, who would I not want to be by? Because right now I feel like walking out the door because she was trying to kill us. And so I'm looking, and there's of course the people in the front are normally the beast. So you have to go closer to the front, because when you go closer to the front, you can't see the people in the back who are quitting. So you have to decide right now that that's what you're going to do. And if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. And that's it. Whatever you have to do. And you have to own your own promotion. I don't care. I always say you can create volume, but you can't create bodies. And so at the end of the day, if I wanted to promote and God placed somebody in my life to where I have the boxes to go, and I know that next month I'm completing my steps and I can replace every single one of those boxes, I'm going. Like, you cannot tell me any type of different thing. God is going to bring me my team, because my Ruby promotion, my Diamond promotion is going to bring me the people who are supposed to be in my business. So why in the world would I not go? Like, why wouldn't I go get what's mine? And y'all don't know what Mark going to do at the conference. Like, listen, what if he triples the bonuses and you didn't go because you didn't know? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're crazy.
I love that. I love that. And it's true. And I mean, it's just so much of this is mental. You know what I mean? So I love that, from deciding, hey, I'm going to do it. When you truly, truly decide it and go for it, it's like, I feel like the majority of the time it actually happens. But then it's like, I mean, almost always. But then it's like, but so what? Say you decided you were going Diamond this month and you worked it like you were, and for some reason you maybe didn't, for some slip. Well, what will happen next month? Because you had already decided, so what? Boom, then you go. You know what I mean? So it's like, I love that. I love that for what someone. What about, okay, leave us just with one more thing. What about, like, you know, is there anything that you're like, man, I wish I would have known this, or I would have told my old self at the beginning, or maybe like an aha, or a time in this business where just this light bulb came off, or okay.
Well, I have a lot of light bulbs.
Hey.
But if it was one piece of advice that I could leave everybody with, it's business and feelings don't mix. So if there was one thing that I could help you get to wherever it is you want to get to quicker, it would be to leave your feelings in the trash. And I'm not saying to leave your compassion. I'm not saying to leave your love. I'm saying to leave your feelings. And if you are a believer, we know that Jesus could care less about people's feelings. He cared about the truth. That's what he cared about. And so at the end of the day, you have to check the intentions of your heart. And if you know you're coming from a good place, speak the truth, but do it with a compassionate heart. Always be sensitive. But then you have to take your feelings out of the follow-up. You also have to know that you're a part of a business. If somebody says no, so what? You run a business. If somebody came into McDonald's and said, well, I don't have no money and I'm not ordering today, guess what? McDonald's could care less, because somebody about to come in here and get a Big Mac. You know what I mean? Because we're not closing the doors. So you have to think like that. Like, that's where your mind has to go. And I always tell my people in the beginning, nice but not needed. That's my hashtag. Hashtag nice but not needed. Why? Because if my friends and family support me, praise God. Like, that is a blessing. Like, thank you so much. But at the end of the day, if you don't support my business, I'm not closing the door. Like, I'm not closing the door, because if I ran a real establishment and you were coming into my business, I would not close the door because you decided you was going to go get your nails done down the street. I don't care. If you support me, though, like, I love you. But at the end of the day, well, I still love you. You know, base our love off that. But if you don't, I'm not closing the door. So why are you doing this? Like, if you don't have a real reason why, then you're going to quit. Like, you're going to quit. You're going to quit. Always know you're in then what on the other side. You have to know what's coming on the other side. If you don't know what's coming on the other side, you won't be here long, because you're going to start making money. And then guess what? You're going to spend it. Like you're going to spend it, and then you're going to talk about you broke again because you didn't have a purpose for your money in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And then get yourself around somebody disciplined. So if you, oh, I'm getting bit. Jesus help. He bites me when he goes to sleep. But and then on the other side, if you say I'm gonna pay off debt, tell somebody else. It's crazy. I'm gonna say this, and I'm sorry. So I told my husband. So God had been dealing with me about our offering. Not my tithes, because I pay my tithes. I don't play with Jesus' money, but my offering. He had talked to me about I needed to. He's paying more consistently in my offering, and I told my friend, but she lived in Atlanta and I live in St. Louis. So she wasn't holding me accountable about it. And on Sunday during offering, like I just had this, like my spirit, it was just like, stop playing. He told you that you need to give this much in offering every single week. And so I sent a text message to my husband and I said, listen, I got to tell somebody because I'm not going to do it. I said, this has been on my heart and this is something that I need to do every single week. So now if we're at church and I don't pay, he doesn't see that money come out of our account, he's going to know that I did not hold myself accountable. So you need to tell somebody who's truly going to hold you accountable, and you're not going to get in your feelings because they're holding you accountable. Like that's the hardest part. Like you can't get in your feelings when you're not doing the things that you said that you were going to do, and they're just holding you to that. So the question is, do you really mean what you say when you say it? And if you do, then there should be nothing wrong with somebody holding you accountable to what you said you were going to do. So
I love that. And that is true. I mean, yeah, that accountability, it is why you need to just say it when you speak it. And it's like, there's just something about, you tell someone you're going for a promotion, you tell someone what your goal for the weekend is, you tell someone, it's like, once you say it, you're like, oh, I'm kind of held accountable now. So I love that, Rachel. Oh, well, thank you, friend.
I think were there questions? I don't know.
Oh, I didn't even have my chat open.
Let me see. I think I had saw a few come through.
If you had a question and we missed it, put it back in.
Oh, Kelly. I love your answer.
Oh, I love that. I did have someone that had text. They're like, oh, I could ask you that. They said, oh, when she's sending out her 20 to 25 messages to new people, what is she messaging for? Customers, distributors, both?
It depends. Okay. My goal is always to complete my steps by the first week of the month.
Wow. Love that.
Yeah, it's always like, it's been like that for years. And just knock it out the park, because then I can help my distributors. You can't, I mean, granted, listen, now every week I plan to complete my steps. It's in my nature. Like, every week I want to complete them. But if I don't have my steps completed, how do I help my team? Like, I'm sitting over here, I'm still going to send my messages, but I'm so focused on doing 4 and 3 that I can't even really get into their messages with them and really help them and focus on them. Or I can get the 3 distributors that I launched, I can get them going. And that's only $300 in fast starts. And don't you want more than $300 in fast starts? And I can control that. So, it depends. It really depends. I'll pick days. Like if my goal is for loyal customers, like Host Post makes it so easy to sign loyal customers, guys. So I don't really message as much. I follow up for customers, but I message for distributors more so.
Okay, and then give us, because I don't know that we saw some follow-up messages. What about, like, if you were going to ask someone, like, you think I'd be great on your team, what's something, like, kind of that you like to send?
I think I have one text replaced. But normally I just say, hey, like, I know this is really crazy and off the wall, but I love connecting with, well, it depends. So if they're moms, like, I love connecting with other mommies. And I just have this video that I just have to have you watch. Like, if I sent it, would you watch it? I do use the video method. I make a video for my team. And I send out my own video. Like, right now it's only 6 minutes for the $50 deal, and they'll watch it, and then I'll go through and just say, hey, like, what was your favorite part? I don't ask what do you think, because I could care less what you think. I want you to speak good about it, so I want to know what's your favorite part about it. And then I go right in and I say, well, like, just hypothetically on a scale of 1 to 10, like with 10 being ready to like jump in with me, where would you say you are? And if they say like 8 or 9 or wherever, we're just gonna hop on the phone and we're gonna talk. Now that I know that they're interested, we're going to become best friends until they sign. So that's the method that I really use. I just give them a compliment, just tell them like, hey, I think you'd be great, whether it's their page, whether it's their smile, whatever. And then I just jump into it.
I love that. Would you share? Because I've actually had Julie had asked me about a video. She's right there. I'm like, I see your face.
Yeah.
Julie. Would you share it? Because like I've never done a video, so I would love to see it. But
Yeah.
she was reading a book and she was like, I heard one of the best ways to, you know,
this is my favorite video. I'll share this one.
Yeah, I love it. And that way, if someone wants to make,
This is the one I always go back to, but I made one for the promo, so I'll grab you the one that I made.
Oh, okay. So this is the one that you normally use, and you made one for the promo. I love that. So it's a 6-minute video. Yeah, I'd love for you to share.
So that one's 10 minutes, and then
10 minutes.
This one is, and actually my team is sending both of these. So let's see.
Okay.
I do not want. So I made one for the $50, and then I actually made one for the $3,000 guarantee. So I have 2 of them.
Yeah. So if you're on this, you copy and copy and paste those to watch. I want to watch too.
Let's see. Can you repeat your non-negotiables? So I'll write it here.
Oh yeah, I took those notes too. I love that. I love that. Cool.
I have trouble with those who are interested to get past the cost and they say it's too expensive. What are the right things to say? Okay. If people think the business or the products are too expensive, for me, this is just my perspective. Their mind isn't right. So they either have a broke mindset or they don't value what you have, what you're bringing to the table. So I don't really give them too much attention. I'll ask them if they've ever thought, those are the people that I may have do a host of those so they can get it for free, because 9 times out of 10, they like freebies. So I would ask them for sure to do a host of those, but I would even say like, hey, do you want to make some money? Because it seems like you would love to get these products for free. And right now you can jump in and get $100 shopping spree so that you can get whatever you want for free anyway and make some money. So I'm always going to just lay it on the table that way, because they have a broke mindset anyway that needs to be healed, because our products for the quality are not expensive. So, and you have to know that. I think that's number one. You have to believe in your products. You have to believe in your business. And if you believe in your products and business, you can't tell me nothing. Like you can't, nothing at all. And once that happens for you, like everything will shift. Like you don't want to buy this wrap for $25. Well, you want flabby skin. Like go to and get you the freeze thing, or go and get liposuction. I could care less. Like my $25 is not a lot of money.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think sometimes it's what you think. Like I feel like I don't have a whole ton of people tell me they don't have the money. I might have someone say, oh, I'm scared I wouldn't do well, or,
yeah.
But it's like when you talk it up, like, girl, it is only, and like,
only, yeah.
And I'm like, I even will say right now with the deal, I'm like, yeah, and it's only, typically it's only $99 to join and you get over $100 with the product. But right now, girl, it's half price. It's $49. It's crazy. Yeah. Inexpensive, like it's nuts. And like the way I make it, they're not going to be like, well, that's still too much, because I feel like when you're taught, like they'd be like, oh, okay,
right, you convince them. And Kyler told me this a while ago when it came to upselling. He was like, no, upselling is easy, because at the end of the day, if you listen to what it is, first of all, study your products. If you haven't made a binder, make a binder. Like you do this business. So regardless whether you're part-time or full-time, even when I was part-time, I had a binder full of products so that I could learn them and I could know what recommendations to make. Use Product Coach. It's my best friend. I don't want to memorize. That's right. I don't remember all this stuff. I don't have to. That's why I have all these resources. That's why I have text replacement. But this, I want to share with you guys. I got this from Rachel Jones, and I use this all the time. And do y'all know people say yes? Like they say yes. I want to be clear. There is going to be no confusion about you not knowing that you're on an auto ship and you're getting this every single month. And guess what? If you cancel, you're going to pay $50. Like I'm not getting charged $50. So say this, just be upfront. Like we have y'all, has anybody here like oils? We love oils in my house. I'm sad that they're leaving. I'm sad. But I have a friend who sells oils, and the fact that I could not get them at her price made me mad. It made me so mad. I thought everybody had a customer program. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? Like, I don't get a customer discount? Like, just put me on an auto ship. Like, I just want some oils. It was like, no, like, you gotta become a distributor to get the, I was like, oh no. So it made me feel like, hey, our customer program is bomb. Like, you cannot tell me that we don't have a bomb customer
Girl,
program.
I got suckered into shampoo, and I did the monthly thing, and then the girl didn't even tell me there was a membership fee. But I'm like, wait. When I'm looking, I'm like, I paid a membership fee, but I'm ordering on auto ship. She's like, oh yeah, it's a membership fee, and the auto ship.
Wow.
Yeah, and you only get 20% off. And I'm like, wait, what do you get? Like, why get that?
Right.
Wait, so I only get 20% off, and I have to spend $80 a month, and then I paid whatever for the membership? No, y'all, we have the best program out there. Like, period. Period. No, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yay. No, so much good stuff. Well, I took so many notes, and I've gotten it for those that have asked. I wrote the spiritual development, personal development post, message, follow up. I love that. And then you talked about adding to your network too. So many good things, Rachel. Oh, well, thank you, girlfriend, for taking the time to do this.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
So good. Okay, y'all. Well, this is Jay just don't wake up the baby. This is recorded. I will get the recording up tomorrow, and I'll send you to in case you want it. But thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. You guys have a good night.
Everyone have a good night. Bye, you guys. Bye.